let us work on, as always, mobilization, warm up. We're going to do a little bit of stretching as well, so really focusing on head, neck and shoulders and thoracic spine area here. We'll then do a little bit of strength. We'll go into tiger squat and we'll finish off with some nice calming, relaxing flow movements. So that's the plan for the next half hour. Finding your comfortable space, standing space where you're not going to be disturbed. I'm just going to lift that camera a bit so I'm not cutting the table off. Oh, that looks as if I'm going wobbly. Is that straight? That's straight. Yes, it looks straight. Let's start off with rotation. Taking your feet about shoulder width apart. A little bit of bend in the knees. We'll come up to this position where we've got our arms almost like I'm surrender position. And we're going to rotate to one side. As we do that, we're going to lift the opposite heel off the ground. So you'll see if I'm mirroring you, my left heel is lifting off the ground. And then I'm going to come back and place the weight on that left foot. And then I'm going to rotate and the opposite heel is going to lift off the ground. Nice and slow. I'm still keeping connection through that ball of the foot where the heel is coming off the ground. I'm shifting most probably about 70% of the weight onto this support side, the support leg, and I've got about 20% connection through the ball of the foot, through the bubbling spring on that heel that's coming off the ground. And just bring awareness to what is going on in the hip and the knee and the ankle of that trail leg, if you like, or if that lighter leg. So feel that spiral working through the hip and the knee and the ankle. So you're strong and stable on that support leg, standing leg, and then you feel that rotation spiral through the other leg, the trail leg. Our spine is tall, our shoulders are relaxed and down, upper body light. And breath is just easy in and out through the nose. These spiral movements are key to fluid flow movement when we're walking, when we're running, when we're sprinting. We need to have this mobility through this spiral chain, through the spine, through the hips, through the knees and through the ankles. We often don't work on it. We think just because we step in forwards and backwards, it's almost like two-dimensional. Bringing the arms down now, so you can take them a little bit wider. Bring them to shoulder height. I'm just going to step forwards a little bit because I haven't got much room behind me. And you can rotate a little bit more now. So you can almost just have a little glance behind. Bring your awareness now to the upper back, the thoracic spine. So often where we hold a lot of tightness and tension is in this upper back area, here in your thoracic spine. So if we can keep the shoulders dropped, we can just feel that little bit of rotation. Breathing easy. Still lifting that opposite heel, that very subtle weight shift. This is our mobilization, our energizing warm-up practice. Now bring your hands down a little bit to hip height. And you can bend the knees a little bit more, but still shifting the weight side to side with a little bit more of a focus on the lower back. And as I say, every session, we're certainly not forcing anything. So often stretching, we tend to pull and really force, thinking that's good, but we don't want to overstretch or overreach or overeat or overdrink. We want to just make sure we go into that spot where we are aware of improvement and aware of any areas where we feel restricted, and then just breathe into those areas. And then we can just move into knocking. So just bring the knees to soft, both feet planted on the ground, and then just letting the arms relax. Keeping tall through the spine. Tapping on the back of the body, so that back of the hand is just tapping just behind my belly button. And the front of the arm is just tapping across the front of the body. Breathing easy. Tall and light through the upper body, through the spine. Standing tall and proud. Long spine. And stable and strong, connected to the ground. Through the feet, through the legs, strong in the hips. Good. Gradually slowing it down a little bit. Slowing it down. Taking the knees, bending a little bit more in the knees, going into our spinal cord breathing. So you're breathing in and then breathing out. So I'm tilting the pelvis, I'm spilling out at the front of the pelvis, breathing in, looking up, breathing out. And then making that one smooth movement, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Bringing the elbows back a little bit, feeling the rib cage open up. That's almost just bringing the breath into the body and then tucking under. Keeping the knees bent. It's very easy to think, oh, I'll stand up when you get to this part and then you can't do anything with the pelvis. So if the knees are bent, you can then tilt the pelvis and spill out the front. So just keep the knees bent, get that movement through the spine, through the sacrum. And then take a rest there. Again, just to really highlight, when we're doing this cat-cow or almost like a back bend, rather than just what we often do is we compress the lower back when we're tilting the pelvis, spilling out the front, the lower back compresses and we just lean back. So we almost like lean the whole rib cage back. What we want to do when we're thinking of a back bend, if you like, is not just squashing here and leaning the whole rib cage back, is lifting here. So you're lifting the sternum. So actually that's extending your thoracic spine, which is much more, I find it much more difficult than just leaning back. So again, watch that you're not just leaning back and compressing that lower back area. Lift here, lift, open up the front of the spine, open up the rib cage. That'll get the breath in and it takes the pressure off this lower back. So that's a really important point to watch on that. It also helps with this upper back mobilization as well. Taking the feet a little bit wider actually, we'll go about a shoulder and a half width apart. Let's do our lateral flow, so shifting side to side. Hips are parallel to the floor. So even just doing this is really good because it just helps to strengthen the legs. You're straightening that leg there, that knee bends a little bit there. Straightening that leg, knee bend. So we're going side to side, and then you just let the upper body flow with that. So work your way up from lower back. And then mid back where you start to feel the ribs. And then through the thoracic spine, upper back. Shoulders go, and then let the head go at the top. And you can go slow, or you can speed it up a little bit. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. And then slow it down, slow it down. If you're in this wider stance, you can work your feet in by rotating toes in, so we get that internal rotation of the knees and hips. Rotate your heels in, rotate your toes in, and then you can come to standing and just balance there a moment. And just feel where your center of gravity is, how you can relax the shoulders, how you can feel tall through the spine. Stepping back out, we'll go hip width, a little bit of bend in the knees. We'll do pelvic circles, but this time, rather than the big circles that we often do, or with the knees straight, we'll do a little bit of bend in the knees, and we'll do that pelvic circle. So it's like a combination or a cross between big hip circles and the one where we're doing the tiny sacrum circles. It's a cross between that by just doing a bit of hula hooping. So you tuck the pelvis underneath, circle it to the side, tuck it back, circle it to the other side. So we're getting movement, particularly in this sacrum area as well, because we often get really tight if we're sitting a lot. This area here tends to, can tighten up, can lock up. So just getting some movement in that area there. So circling in one direction. So this is where we are dropping the hip to the side, dropping the pelvic to that pelvis, back and dropping the hip to the other side, tucking the pelvis under. If we're sitting a lot, even if we're standing a lot, just getting some movement. Then we can change direction. And then we can shake the legs out. Have a little bit of a leg swing if you feel like swinging the legs a little bit. Stabilize on one side. Free up that opposite leg. Just swing it, free it up. The idea of this is that you make sure you're stable first and then you swing that leg. So you're stable and strong on the support leg. It's the support leg that's almost swinging the trail leg there. So swing, step, swing, step. Opening up the hips, freeing up the hips. Some mornings they might feel a little bit freer than other mornings. and then shake out. Shake out the ankles. Let's do a little bit of work in terms of stretching here in this thoracic spine, shoulders, getting that head balanced on top of the spine. So a nice one to start off with, I think we've done this before, is if you have your palms facing forwards, and I'll show you from the side, it's almost like you're gathering something in front of you, so rounding arms, and then you bring your palms down the side, so you stretch out the fingers, stretch out the arms, tuck the chin, bring those shoulders down, and balance the head on top of the spine. So there's a real strength and good tension in a good way, and pushing down towards the ground, stretching out the arms, really stretching the fingers. So you get those fingers stretched and you get the head balanced on top of the spine. We breathe all the time through that. So make sure you're not holding the breath when you're stretching like that. So breathe. And then again, so gather, spiral, palms facing behind you, stretch, tuck the chin. You can give yourself a little head nod. Bring the shoulders down, lengthen out the spine. Breathing in and out through the nose. Then bending the knees, gathering, spiral, spiraling those hands through, stretch down. And again, spiral. It's like an owl spreading its feathers. Little head nod, tuck the chin, shoulders down. A couple more like that. Spiral. Bring the shoulders down, stretch out. Use the fingers, use the thumbs. Spiral, soft spiral. Bring the shoulders down. You might be getting some creaks, crunches. And then take a rest there. And then we go the other way. So we've got our palms facing the back of the room. So this time we spiral behind us. So we go behind, spiral here, bring the hands through, and then you've got your palms facing in front of you, stretching out the arms, tucking the chin, bringing the shoulders down. Breathing in that position. And then again, knees soft, a little bit of tilt forwards, gather behind you, spiral, stretch, breathe easy, bring the shoulders down. Again, spiral, stand tall, bring those shoulders down. You can physically pull the shoulders down here. We're deliberately stretching out these arm lines, clearing any blockages in the thumbs, in the palms, in the hands, in the fingers. Let's do two more like that. Spiral. Stretch, breathe. And again, spiral. Breathe. And then relax and shake out the arms. Just stand for a moment, feet balanced, hip width. Just feel any tingling sensations now down the arms. So the blood flowing, the energy flowing down the arms. Get that head just balanced on the top of the spine. It's good to think of the head balanced on top of the spine rather than the shoulders holding the head up. So if you think of the shoulders holding the head up, head can come forwards and you can be using these muscles here to hold the shoulders up. But actually, if you just think about the head balanced right on top of the spine there, because that's the top of the spine where that head, where the skull sits on top of the spine there. It's also much easier to breathe when your head's in that position, in and out through the nose. If your head's in a forward position, you tend to, particularly when you're exercising, if your head's pushing forwards, if you're leading with the upper body and you're leading with the head, you tend to start gasping air in through the mouth. So get that head just balanced on top of the spine. Let's do a little bit of work with the neck. So step your feet out, shoulder width. Bringing the arms now, pushing the arms out to the side. And flexing the fingers up. This is often really difficult, particularly on, that's my right hand. You can see the difference in actually flexing that right hand or one hand up. So really stretch out, balance, and then take your ear to shoulder, just gently. So we're not forcing anything. So your ear is connected to the shoulder. It's not going right down onto the shoulder, but you just bring the ear towards that shoulder. Watch that you're not leaning back or leaning forwards or leaning the head back or leaning the head forwards at this moment. So ear is connected to shoulder. And just breathe into that position. Watch also that you're not tilting the shoulders. So keeping the shoulders pretty level. And then ear to shoulder. And just breathing in that position. And then bringing the head slowly back on top of the spine, shoulders down, and then go the other way. Now you might not be able to go as far, so again, we're not forcing anything. Where I want you to feel the tension is through the arms and through the fingers up towards the sky. And then ear to shoulder. Watch that you're not leaning that upper body over, so upper body stays tall. You're just leaning that ear to shoulder. Yet the arms might start to you might feel it working through the arms. And then balance the head on top of the spine. And then relax the arms down. And feel your tingling sensation through the arms, through the hands. You can feel the fingers warming up. So we deliberately put tension through that arm line. We're not tightening the neck, we're releasing the neck, but we're putting tension through that arm line to help release any tightness and tension in the neck. Let's do it the other way around now. So this way round, you connect fingers to the thumb there like that, and then you just flex the wrist down. So it's same position, flexing down, tall through the spine, and then we take ear to shoulder. Breathing easy in and out through the nose, looks like a scarecrow. Flex those wrists, lengthen out that arm line. Breathe in and out through the nose, and then come back to balance on top of the spine. And then go other way, ear to shoulder. All of this stuff is done very slowly, very mindfully, so that you're aware that you're not forcing anything, but you're stretching those arm lines. Stretch the arm lines, flex the arms, flex the wrists down, and then balance the head on top of the spine. And relax the arms. Feel that tingling sensation. And then give the arms a good shake. In fact, let's give the whole body a good shake, because I think it might need it after that. So tapping the heels into the ground. Letting the spine just move, letting the shoulders move. And we can do a sigh, nice morning sigh in and out. So a satisfying sigh, breathing in through the nose. And couple more of those, just in your own time, breathing in. And really let those shoulders go. Use the arms a little bit, tapping the heels into the floor. One more, breathing in. Nice, long, satisfying, beautiful morning. And slow it down. Slow it down. Come to standing. Come to standing. Getting your feet in a great position for going into tiger. Slow tiger. Comfortable depth, not forcing anything. As you are going down, just keep that spine tall and long, so almost look out in front rather than leaning forwards. So quite often when we go into this, we get to the point where our hips can, that feels that's fine, and then we go, I need to get a little bit lower, so we start leaning forwards and down. So just take your hips towards the floor, but keep your intention, or keep your sternum lifted and look out in front of you for the moment. And then come back up. Get that spine wave as you come back. Open up the sternum and then down, up. And if here is a comfortable place to get to, that's actually more challenging. You can strengthen the legs a little bit more, pushing up. It's not about forcing. It's not about who can go the lowest. We all have different shaped hip sockets, different shaped pelvises. So it's all about what feels good for you, where you can challenge yourself a little bit, but not where you are pushing or forcing. And we'll see that in the breath. So if you can breathe easy, if you can breathe easily in and out through the nose, then that's great. It means your body's in control, or you're in control of the body. You could stop at any more moment. You're not forcing, you're not straining. Let's do 2 more. And then come to standing. And we'll take that into the fountain flow. So the fountain does what it says on the tin, hips glide back. It's like water coming up from the ground and then flowing out to the sides. So hips glide back, lift tall through the spine. Just a small movement back. It's not a huge movement. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Opening up the chest. Breathing out. Letting the elbows just drop, shoulders drop. And then bringing palms up as if you're pulling energy from the ground. Then elbows bend, coming down through that center line. Centering yourself, breathing in, breathing out. Crossing your hands, resting on the lower abdomen, bringing your feet together. balancing. And stepping out, giving yourself a little brush down. That went really quickly, went quicker than usual. I suppose we did a couple of new things there. Brilliant. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for everyone who's posting on the AIM Challenges Facebook page, and those of you, I know there's a lot of you joining the challenge but not posting on the Facebook page, but yeah, I know you are doing the challenge, which is great, and there's some really good feedback from that. So keep that up. It's going to be the whole of December. It's including Christmas Day, so I want a challenge posted on there on Christmas Day, and I'll be sending you details today or tomorrow about next year's retreats, because I've got loads of exciting things planned for next year. So get those booked up as well, hopefully. And have a great weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday for our breathwork. Take care, have a good weekend. Bye all.